The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, everybody. Welcome to A Crimes After Dark. Once again on a Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday. Every day blends together when you get no sleep and you're working around the clock, but it does feel like a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday, right? Anyways, I got a full panel backstage, even though we're down a kind of a regular panelist. Dago's under the weather today, so the True Crime Cafe, he's a little under the weather. Hopefully his people showed up tonight just to kind of hang out and support the show. But I understand if you are Dago through and through, and if he's off, you're off. That's fine. But more than likely, you're probably here. We also have Bronx Tales, who is another channel that is going to be, you're going to see a lot more of her. She's going to be on with this. And by the way, for those people who think, because we saw a little bit of this feedback, we don't have other YouTube channels on here just to benefit us. Like if we didn't think it benefited them as well, it wouldn't be a thing. So for those who think that, oh, this is not a good thing for her, or it's not a good thing for Dago, trust me, all these people are here because we all think, I think JJ said, a rising tide rises all ships, or something like that. And I was like, yeah, that's as long as we're all doing the same thing and we're going in the same direction, if everything comes up, we all do better. So I think it's a good thing, a good fit for everybody. Hopefully you all agree that it's cool seeing other YouTubers give their perspective on stuff as well. It is kind of, the ship is kind of captained by us on the Devil's Advocates, but we're trying to theme it a little bit so that you know that these other people have their own shows as well to think about. And hopefully maybe Logan's co-streaming tonight. When Dago's on, he co-streams to his side as well. So let's bring people up. As usual, I think one has kind of stuck himself in the ass position. The lead, the view never changes except for the lead dog. You get to be in the ass end looking at my ass all night long because you're going to come on screen last because you're the one that does the monologue. So enjoy my ass. All right. For the rest of you, you get to come on before him. So let's bring Robin. Are you going to be able to compose yourself? I hope your sound is okay because you've been having some sound
It's
issues.
all good. Shut up, dog. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. When I laugh, the dogs go crazy. So I guess I'm not allowed to. Oh my God, that was
The sound just cut out on you again. What the hell tonight? Oh my God. All right. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, the sound just completely goes to zero on you for out of the blue. Like this has been happening.
StreamYard hates me tonight.
They do. They're like a dog. They have lifted their leg and they're peeing all over your side of this
Right.
show.
Between
So,
that
I
and
don't know
now
what's happening.
you want everyone to enjoy your ass. I don't know.
And now you're getting some ghosting effect and you're half
I know.
showing up
I'm
and not
telling
showing.
you, I'm getting rid of the damn background right now.
That's it. Let's just
Right
shut the
here
show
and
down.
now.
Right. Oh, and now your cat
Hey,
comes
but at
on.
least the crime cat is here.
Is that Coda? Is that like, yeah?
Yeah,
So,
that's Coda the
well,
crime
look,
cat.
oh, and now you don't have a backdrop. That's okay. You know what? We're going to work this shit out slowly. We're going to slowly work this out. All right.
As long
Well,
as
it's
you
good to
can
see
hear
you.
me and see the cat.
I can. Anything special in your world before we bring up the other panelists?
No, just the usual job stuff. Although I was having some fun with Chat GPT showing me what it thinks I look like in my non-job and shit like that. It gave me a third arm.
Right.
I
It
wish
makes,
I could
well,
have
yeah,
a third arm for
yeah,
real.
yeah. Well, I wished I had
yeah,
a third leg, but you know, it is what it is. So
Well, we won't go there. We're already talking about. Never mind, Robin.
this is not a family show. I'll tell you that. All right.
No.
Well, it's good. It's good to see you. Hopefully, we'll keep your audio working throughout the night. If not, I'll just have to keep going backstage and turning it back on again. All right. So let's bring Logan from Bronx Tales True Crime. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're good.
I'm fair to middling. I'm feeling pretty
Do you want to
good.
hear my short story or no?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So my dog, Bronx, he won't go
Mhm.
to the bathroom in his own yard. So I have to walk him every time he has to go to the bathroom, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But last night I got off stream and I went to walk around the block. And to my right is supposed to be the parking lot to the gas station. There's a big fence, so I can't see around it. But so Bronx goes ahead of me and I look around and he is nose to nose with a coyote.
Oh,
in the middle of town, in the middle of a well-lit gas station. And I'm like, what the F am I doing with my life? A whole coyote. I was terrified.
Wait a minute. So, I mean,
oh my
you
gosh.
were there. What did anybody get hurt? Did the dogs get hurt? Did they get into it?
So no, nobody got hurt. My dog was acting like he was going to eat its face off. And then I was yelling at it and like throwing stuff at it, trying to kick it. And like, I probably sounded like an idiot, but then this car saw it and they pulled in between the coyote and us so we could just run. So we just ran.
How cool is that? Like citizens helping and coming to the rescue to other citizens.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
It was pretty cool. I was like, oh,
we need
thank
more
you, Jesus.
people helping each other.
But I thought that was
nobody
wild.
got hurt.
A whole coyote in the middle of town. What the heck?
All right. So who would you have put your money on? Your dog or the coyote if they had
my dog for sure. No doubt. He is pit bull. So
yeah. Might not have been good for the coyote, I suppose.
I know it wouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you on with us again tonight, and we're looking forward to becoming a regular. So hopefully we can twist your arm to coming on all the time. But I realize you got your own show to worry about. Anything special that you have that happened to you today, other than that? I mean, but is there anything else you want to talk about before we bring other panelists up?
Other than that, no. I did find some cool audio. Not cool, I shouldn't say cool at all for that case, but an audio that is a little bit different and a little bit telling to me more so than some of the other audio. So I just threw up a pre-recorded video, so hopefully everybody checks it out. It's in that video. So
Nice, excellent. But I'm going to have to check out what you had. Is it related to our cases or a completely different thing?
No, it's Idaho 4. It's a short 10-minute video, but I feel like the audio is pretty good in there. Somebody said they couldn't hear what they were saying, but I feel like it's pretty clear because I usually can't hear what people are saying in audio. But it's pretty good.
I'm always afraid of that kind of stuff. And by the way, before we bring up JJ and 1-1, last night a lot of people were saying, DA, you have to watch the video with Kopaka's friends from 1220. I did. I watched it last night. So I got several people sent me to make sure I didn't miss it. I told you I'd watch it. I did watch it. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But let's bring on JJ, State of the Deep. What's up?
What's up, everybody? DA, Robin, Logan, 1-1, denizens,
hello,
meatballs, mods. Good to see you guys. All right, I have a story for you.
Nice. It's story
Logan
time.
had her coyote story. Where I live in the mountains. There's all kinds of crazy wildlife. There's coyotes, there's bear, there's moose, there's all kinds of shit. But there's not road runners. And the first time
I already love this story. I already loved it, but there's not road runners.
We all grew up watching the, Looney Tunes with the Wile E. Coyote
Yep.
and the Roadrunner, right? I was in Utah once. I was on my way to Vegas from Lake Powell. So we're driving through the desert. We stop at this diner. I think it was St. George, Utah. And I had never spent a lot of time in the desert at that point in time. So, different wildlife in the desert. And I'm sitting in the window seat of a booth, and I see this thing go across the road. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And all my friends all turn, and they're like, that's a fucking Roadrunner. And then the thing, it was like, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even think those things were real, man.
Right? I thought that was a cartoon. That's based on a real
No,
thing.
they're
I figured
real.
I had to
Did
be.
you ever
Yeah.
see those things run, man?
No.
But in Colorado?
Holy shit, man. It's literally like,
Utah.
then it stops, just like the cartoon.
How big are they?
Oh, no, I mean, it's hard for me. My camera's not going to pick it up, but they're not
Small-
big birds, but they're decent size. Like you notice them. I mean, they stand up
not as
like
big
a person.
as an ostrich, but not as big as an ostrich, but not as small as a duck, right?
Yeah, it's probably similar to like a
Big
duck
range.
size. But it's just hilarious because they stand up and then they take off and they run and they go beep beep. They make a little noise. But the coyote story reminded me of that. I haven't thought of that in a long time, but I just had to bring that up because it was a big moment for me.
It's a big moment for me because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a Wile E. Coyote super genius. I thought I was going to be a super genius. So, that's an amazing story. I love it.
It was great. I wish I didn't have. This is like a long time ago where not everybody had a cell phone, or else
Yeah.
I would have taken a video of it because it was great. He ran, then he stopped, and I got to look at him, and then he ran again. I'm like, holy shit! I've never seen anything like that
Roadrunner
before.
run.
Oh my gosh. I thought they
It's
were
great.
fake.
It was
That's
great.
it. That's it. When we get
They're
done,
real.
or before, somebody needs to queue up a damn YouTube video of a Roadrunner in action.
Please.
So we can see,
I'm
so we can
telling you,
see it.
man. It's and another thing I just saw not too long ago. It was going around online. It was obviously AI, but it was like a Roadrunner running down the road with what was chasing it? Like some other kind of wildlife. It's one of the funniest videos in the world, man.
I have one if you want to see it.
A Roadrunner? Well, we got to bring one
Yep.
up for. Well, but
Yeah,
you
get
know what?
one
I don't
up
even see him
here.
on camera. Is he there? Because he's got his vampire powers turned on. I didn't. Oh, there he is. Oh, that
He's
vampire
there.
motherfucker. All right.
He's laughing.
He's all like
Oh
rises
my
up
God.
from the darkness comes one.
You, you guys are killing me. Coyotes, road runners, three
We got-
legs, three
yeah.
arms. JJ, what
What do
kind of concoction are you drinking over there? You gotta tell me off stream, man.
It's some peyote cactus mixed in with my seltzer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I wanna see some road runners too.
Maybe I dreamt the whole thing. Maybe it was just a dream.
Yeah, you and Dylan, right? Yeah.
oh my God!
Yeah,
Stop!
yeah.
Stop! You're killing me.
Is
Killing
it
me.
real?
I knew
or
you.
just a
I
dream?
knew you were going there. Oh my gosh! All right, what do you got? One. What's your day look like? What do you have to share with us on your highlights? Do you have a story about a roadrunner or a coyote?
I
'Cause-
don't.
Wait a minute!
No.
Wile E. Coyote was a coyote, right?
Yeah.
We had a
Right?
story
Yeah.
that started with a coyote and then led to the roadrunner.
See,
Yeah.
That's
probably
that's
what
why
drew
I
JJ
went to
in.
that story.
Oh, I just made the connection. That's amazing. All right, how do you get? Do you got a
That's
story about a
wrong.
bunny, like a Bugs Bunny or something?
No. It's just
All
just the normal cops and robbers and nonsense here. Nothing too crazy. No bodies in trash bins today.
Boring.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Didn't you have somebody that had? You told us, wasn't there a head found in a
Yes.
garbage can in New York when you were? Yeah, that was. That was a great day.
My precinct covers like cruise ships. We cover a terminal, and there was like a big bin, and a body was found. And this was like a few months ago. Body was found inside of the bin with the head severed. Pretty crazy.
And it was just a typical New York day. Just a typical.
That's just a
hey
typical
guys,
New York day.
Just a cliff note. Got a head in a garbage can. Go check that out. Yeah, it's just a day. All right, are you ready to read us in a monologue and get us kicked off for the evening? All right.
Sure. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Tuesday night? Love you, Jackson, Juliana, and my beautiful wife. Have a good night. There are cases that make headlines. Then there are cases that haunt them. Stories that don't fade with time. They rot, they whisper, they resurface. Not because they're unresolved, but because the answers we were given never quite fit. Tonight, we step into that space. The uncomfortable middle ground between truth and narrative, between justice and appearance. This is where Devil's Advocates lives. We begin with the killing of Mickey Steins and the death of Judge Kevin Mullins, a moment where authority collapsed inward, and the line between protector and perpetrator blurred beyond recognition. When violence reaches into the courtroom itself, when those sworn to uphold the law are no longer safe within it, we have to ask a dangerous question. Was this an isolated act or a symptom of something deeper? We return to Delphi, a case defined by echoes, a bridge, a grainy video, a voice the world knows by heart, yet still cannot place with certainty. Justice, delayed, doesn't just deny answers, it breeds doubt. Then there is Idaho 4, 4 lives lost in the quiet hours of the night, a timeline stitched together under pressure, evidence debated, motives questioned, and a story that fractures under scrutiny. We examine the case of Luigi Mangione and Brian Thompson, where responsibility, intent, and consequence collide in a system that doesn't always punish evenly. And finally, we descend into the Long Island shadows, Rex Heuermann, the Long Island serial killer investigation, and a name that refuses to fade, Shannon Gilbert. Was she running from danger or toward a truth she was never meant to see? These cases don't exist in isolation. They exist within systems, narratives built to restore order, but order does not equal truth. Here, we slow everything down. We pull at loose threads. We ask the questions others avoid, because doubt isn't reckless, silence is. Welcome to Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from New York, it's Tuesday night.
Thank you for reading us in. Another great monologue. It gets all of the cases kind of touched on a little bit. I love what you do there. It's very, very cool. All right, guys, look, we're not stuck every single night to Idaho 4, but I know you guys want to talk about Idaho 4. I can feel it. I can see it in your faces. I saw that. I wished I had that on screen full size. Anyways, before we get too far, I want to say one thing. We tried a new thing today. You guys complain a lot that I don't engage my chat a lot, and that's true. And in fact, I don't want to put the chat on screen that lays on half of our audience or our panel's faces. It's another reason why we're not showing it on screen. We do have mods trying to pin comments from time to time, but I do go back and read those comments. And today I tried something new. I came up with an idea it was kind of a collaborative idea, but I kind of put the finishing touches on it, called a fireside chat. What I did is I took screenshots of comments that I could answer one-on-one. So if you didn't see that, I'll tag you up your YouTube name that you were under when you asked the question in the chat. If you didn't get addressed and it was a question or a comment that I thought was worthy of riffing on for a while, I'll do that. I spent an hour putting people's names up on screen and going over their comments and talking about their questions and concerns, and it's doing pretty well. It seems like it's a pretty popular format, and I enjoyed the hell out of doing it. So forgive me for not engaging as much in the chat live while we're here, because we're focusing on our panel and we want the panel to be able to have space. And I don't want it to keep interrupting people that are talking to say, wait, I got something I got to address in the chat. So fire those questions at us. And here's one more thing I want to tell you before we get going. if you've got a question for a specific panel member, either start it with DA, comma, what do you think about this? Or Robin, comma, what do you think about this? Or one, or so on. And even Logan from Bronx Tales, just say their name and a question that you want them to address. I will do my best to get them to do a little recorded answer to your comment and add it to my fireside chats. So we're going to try this out as a format. So if you have a specific question for the panelists, fire them at me. I'll answer the ones that are directed at me or just generic. And then I will try as well to get my panelists to give me a quick pre-recorded answer of some of your questions. So that's what we want to encourage for this evening. All right, guys, it's open season. What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, it seems everyone is like covering Kopaka now. Like,
I noticed
everyone, I like a lot of a bunch of creators, and I mean it's fine. So like no one owns Kopaka,
right?
Per se, but it's just interesting that everyone's covering it.
It's funny with the Kopaka thing because that story intrigued me very early, but someone had to tell me, like, I shouldn't talk about it because Pavarotti said Kopaka's name first. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Does any person have the corner on the market that once they say the name, like, I don't even understand that logic. So I had my own theories. I said my own things. So yes, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, well, welcome to the club. Pavarotti's been on Kopaka since the very beginning. That's great. First of all, let me say this. I have no problem with Pavarotti. I think he's really, really bright. So kudos. That's great. It's fantastic. But that doesn't mean that we can't talk about him. And apparently now a lot of other YouTubers are starting to pick up new questions. I'm not entirely sure where all the new interest is coming from, other than, some of the they keep releasing new documents and now new names like the redacted BK that apparently wasn't Brian Koberger. So you're thinking, well, who is the other BK? But yeah, it's starting to resurface again, and I find it interesting. I think you had some clips. Do you want to show some of those clips and talk about them a little bit real quick?
Yeah. So let me put
this one. Let's remove that.
The first. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So this is something that Harsh Reality covered. Again, when we mention stuff that other creators bring up or mention, we do give them credit. That's what we do here. So this was basically this was kind of like a post after the incident had happened with Kopaka, and it's like a discussion group, and he came across it, and I guess this Dr. Caroline Oss Miller. It's just an interesting dialogue. So just a few comments here. So she says, Chief Fry certainly thought Brent had something to do with the Idaho 4, and Fry is getting called out for it. Fry called Brent every day for an hour, each and every day, putting Kopaka into a frenzy. Fry's fault, Fry's lies, and now Fry will be caught. No evidence on BK. So, and then a little further down, the proof is it came out of Fry's mouth. Oh, we have a POI that I speak to with person of interest. It was an interview around December 4th with a reporter from Spokane or Moscow. The video interview was removed from the internet. Jennifer, so the link no longer exists. Most everyone missed the actual connection. And then the interview was December 4th to December 9th. It was removed. The link was posted. If you put up the second, you can put up, I guess, the second.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the actual link. It doesn't work. It's gone, but that was, I guess, the thumbnail from it.
Can we go way back? Can we go way back machine and get that video or is that not?
I don't know. Harsh said that he couldn't find it, so maybe him.
Damn it!
But
damn it! I want that video.
But I don't know what I can say to that. I don't know if Harsh has an Amanda. So
yeah, right. There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
What date did you come in on the side of a foreign case, Jennifer? One thing I know for sure: my life works matters. My professional opinion on this case matters too. Officer Payne knew Brent Kopaka, and Payne wrote the PC for Idaho 4. So it's alleging that there was a further connection there with Kopacka, that they were it's just kind of bridge, and that's not obviously definitive proof, but just saying
wait a
that
minute.
Kopacka was.
You just said
What?
something that made me piss myself. You just said there was something. You just said there was something to the effect of Payne knew Kopacka, and that's why.
Well, that's what they were. That's what this is alleging. That
Right,
and Kopacka was in there.
Then Fry was then
Yes.
calling him a person of interest. And look, this is
Yes.
if that's true. If
Right,
it's
I'm
true.
not saying that that's true. It's just based
Right.
on what he stumbled upon, and he was showing it. He also Harsh also he didn't say this is 100% truth. He's just showing what was brought to him. But it's another thing that's out there.
And the reason why I bring it up is because one of the things I said in the early days when we were all asking why, what do you got going on there, JJ? Showing us what the wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, PSYOP.
The PSYOP. Right. I
PSYOP.
forgot.
I couldn't read what it said. I was like, what's he doing with his shirt?
I know. I was like, he's got showing his Wonder Bra, or what the hell's going on over there? He's like,
anyways, because he's saying that Payne knew Kopacka, and as soon as they saw the knife sheath and whatever they thought that this guy, however he knew him from before, whatever it was, the connection before, but that he was like instantly, put as like a POI for this incident based on that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But from that, they're saying that they were it was basically making him nuts.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because now that I'm doing this fireside chat, I've seen questions come up that I'm like, oh, I'll just fucking deal with that later, because like I don't want to interrupt the flow of the panel. I'm like, this is cool. Like I'll get a reminder. I can guarantee you to talk about this. But just to refresh, one of the things I said early on was I said, yes, it's pure speculation, but both Payne and Kopacka were both 82nd Airborne in the same combat team. And that was only in existence for a certain period of time, which I said, well, there's a very good possibility that they could have overlapped or have known each other. And a lot of people said, well, that's just pure speculation. And that's true. And yes, maybe Kopacka could have gone to the local VFW or something like that and bumped into him because they're both vets, or whatever the case may be. I said, what if one of the reasons why Payne was put in charge of the investigation in the first place is because there was a suspicion that this, 82nd Airborne guy who had a certain set of skills was involved, and they had a guy on Moscow Police Department that was 82nd Airborne and had a certain set of skills, and they recognized it immediately and said, this guy, if anybody knows about how to kill somebody with a knife, it'd be this kind of guy, and this guy's got training, so let's put him in charge of the investigation because this is our best lead. And it would have made some sense to me, but
right. But what you just said, though, based on the, I know we're going to talk about it, that interview with Kopacka's friends, they basically said that there is piss poor services for veterans in that whole area, or there was at the time.
Yeah.
So,
Turkey Creek Gal, thank you for becoming a new member. I want to ask all of you to talk a little bit about Kopacka. I don't want to go nuts with Kopacka, but I want to ask Logan. Logan, I haven't watched enough of you to know if you have any certain feelings or whatever about Brent Kopacka.
Yeah. So how about originally when Judge John Judge was talking to Brian Koberger and it started to slip out of his mouth, Brent Kopacka. Like, why would you have Brent Kopacka's name in your mouth in a different state and a different county that has nothing to do with anything? How would you know that name?
Right.
So
that always happened. That always happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I mean, this gets brought up a lot. People saying Judge said Brent Kopacka. To be fair, he started to say the name, and it was clear to most of us what he was saying. He said Brent Kopacka, and then he stopped. He didn't finish it, right? So let's correct that. He didn't necessarily say Kopacka, but he did clearly start to say it, we believe, clearly. And why wouldn't he, especially since Kopacka's name may have been on paperwork that he had seen. And so he just, it was just a slip up, a mispronunciation or whatever. Yeah, what it means is to us, Kopacka was on your mind. He was in paperwork. He was on people's minds. And we've said for the longest time, if Kopacka was a person of interest and like one's now suggesting, and then Harsh is talking about and whatever, if somebody was up his ass because they thought he could be involved, and he has PTSD and he's already paranoid. The guy's already paranoid, right? He already thinks everybody's out to get him. If a stranger pulls out their phone, he's like, that stranger just took a picture of me, kind of thing. So if that's his mindset, then when he's going around telling people, hey, the feds are following me, maybe the fucking feds were actually following him. Like,
Yeah.
What if they triggered him because they actually were up his ass and following him everywhere?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. The other thing that I think a lot of the reason for me that Kopaka has been on my mind just as of lately is because you came out with the body cam footage of his swatting and unaliving or death or whatever. And then in that, we saw the hatchet stuck in the wall, which to me looks very similar to one of the marks that are left in Xana's bed. So to me, it looks like somebody went to go swing at her while she was down on the ground there, and they missed and they hit the bed. And it does not look like a knife cut into a bed. It looks like more like a hatchet type weapon.
That's super interesting. Do you remember the photo number of that particular one you're talking about? So I mean, we've got the photo dump, but do you happen to remember the number?
No, I don't remember the number of it.
Fair enough.
I did go and take my 7-inch blade and I stabbed a mattress to see what it would look like and see if it would compare. And it was not at all similar at all. So to me, it's a different weapon. And it reminds me of Kopaka's hatchet.
Well,
wow. Her fucking dedication, her dedication to the case. She stabbed her mattress to see if she could recreate the
hold on. Not my mattress. I was walking my dog and the neighbor had a mattress on the curb. Okay. It just was coincidence.
I like a woman that carries a 7-inch blade.
And you didn't videotape it? Come on.
I was going to say, no one was in this mattress, right? No one was in there, right?
I did take a picture of it, but do you want to know my dedication to the case? I did go out and buy an Elantra, though.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes, I promise you I did.
Did it have clip-on fog lights?
Is it white? Is it white?
It's not white, unfortunately, but it was cheap and it was close enough. So
I have a white car that looks a lot like an Elantra as well, and I did have one of my users send me laminated stickers for my car that said "suspect vehicle number 2," and then challenged me to drive around Moscow with it. I decided that was funny as shit, and I even joked about doing it, but I'm like, I don't think I'm going to drive around Moscow with "suspect vehicle 2" on the side of my bike.
I would. Okay. I would do it.
We didn't even want to go into the corner club when we were there because we're like, I had a weird vibe when we were there. Like I pick up on vibes, and I had a feeling from the few people we talked to that they're very sensitive to shit relating to that case. Mm-hmm. And we went to Coeur d'Alene and we were eating at a restaurant. And the girl that was serving us grew up there. And I was very tempted to ask her, did you know those girls? But then I thought better of it because I had imagined that there have been a lot of people poking around over the last few years in both in Moscow, in Pullman, and in Coeur d'Alene. So we didn't want to stir the shit while we were there. So I kind of kept my mouth shut, and DA and I kind of watched what
I almost thought, by the way, it's funny, we don't talk about the Coeur d'Alene dinner trip. That's funny because I almost thought you were walking away with that waitress's phone number, which would have been funny considering my Twin Peaks episode in Boise. But anyways, that's hilarious. That's
you might not want to piss off the people that are making your food.
Yeah. No.
Well, I didn't want to draw attention to us while we were there. We talked about it. Like we weren't there to try to be intrusive, or we just wanted to scope the place out, go to the significant spots, and basically see things for ourselves. But I just picked up on a vibe, and I think DA, you can, by your last drone trip there, you can confirm this. People there are very on edge about that whole case.
Yeah, some people are, at least. I mean, like, I don't know if Logan heard that story, but we got chased out of the 1122 King Road residence because I went up there to fly my drone over the property and kind of get some aerial footage. And some college kid puffed up on me and came up and, what the fuck are you doing? You got a chest camera on. That's awfully weird. Why don't you get the fuck out of here? You don't belong here. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who sent the enforcer over? And I was like, I was just like, what the hell? This kid's all over me tell him you don't belong here, get the fuck out of this neighborhood. I'm like, are you like the local police for the? And then he literally called the police on me. Moscow Police Department flipped around and followed me out of town. It was a whole thing. It was pretty crazy. So
What
yeah.
in the world is going on there? That's
you
wild.
tell me.
The only difference is that you contacted the FAA that day. You had to because of the drone.
So
I
fly
think
the
that's
drone,
the
yeah.
only way they knew you were in
Yeah.
that area, and somebody tipped those jerks off, and
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah,
they were on,
someone
because they
did.
were on you like you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there hardly at all, and the guy came rolling in a big truck and jumped out and challenged me and called the police on me, and it was a whole thing. And it was
Well,
like,
I mean,
wow, like how intimidated are you?
Sigma Chi is right there. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right. They can
right
see anybody come into the
there.
neighborhood.
Like, I couldn't shut up about it on camera when we were there. Like, when you're there, in all the videos, as I've said before, that we've all seen online, Sigma Chi looks further back from the road. When you're there, it's got, I can't say this enough. It's right there. It's very, very close to the road. From
Yeah.
The difference was very striking to me. And they were probably they had eyes on that area. I'm sure they've got eyes in that area.
You know what? You just inadvertently made me bring up a question for the panel. Somebody said Steve Gonzalez recently made a comment about, well, I don't know if he recently made the comment, but at some point Steve Gonzalez made a comment about maybe if Moscow Police Department had been watching the house to protect people instead of, harassing kids at the band field that night, maybe something wouldn't have happened, which I find is odd because the murders happened well after that incident, right? So are you suggesting that they were in the wrong place while the murders were happening? Or are you like, well, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was almost like he insinuated that he expected them to be psychic and be there.
Right. How are they supposed to know where all crimes are going to happen? Like, he's going to, like, the whole thing sounded weird. Yeah. Oh, anyway, so thanks for sharing the Kopaka stuff. I think it's really interesting. I feel like he was agitated. I feel like,
yes,
I've never been able to prove it, but I've always felt like Kopaka was on their radar, and because he was on their radar, they may have caused him to get paranoid because they probably were following him and they probably were watching him, and and so
Well, I mean, we covered it extensively. I mean, the crisis management techniques that were used that's the whole thing. There was no crisis management techniques. There was zero.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna. I'll wait till you. I know you're gonna bring up the interview because they mentioned a little bit about it in that interview that we watched. There was no crisis management techniques. It was zero.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't tell. I'm not a hostage negotiator, but I've been on scene many times for emotionally disturbed person, whether they have a weapon or not. You don't tell them, come out, we're going to arrest you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to try to call them. You're not going to try to call them, 500 times in a row. I still have nightmare. I think I have PTSD.
That phone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Brent, pick up the phone. Come to the door.
Yeah,
I have nightmares about it.
Resolve this.
Right. If the time of that body camera, we listened to, that's why you've got PTSD, because we listened to the whole fucking thing. We listened to the whole night. And listen, for those who didn't watch it, the negotiator, if you can call him he wasn't the official negotiator, but I don't know that they ever got an official. There was no attempt to change the tactics. The entire thing was, come out, you are under arrest, you're going to be arrested, we will take you by force if you don't. And that was 8 hours of doing that shit until all hell broke loose, right? And it's like you didn't even try another tactic.
No.
And in fact, at one point, if you believe the narrative, at one point Brent says, if you believe that it was him, says, I'm tired of listening to your fucking voice, shut the fuck up. And then the guy just agitates him more. I'm going to do this all night long. I'm going to keep doing this. You're going to jail. Right. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're triggering him.
The only thing they did, the only kind of strategy tool is they did reach out to one of his friends, or his close friend, which is something that you would do but they didn't use anything really that, you know, or they didn't even, you know, I don't know the experience of these guys that were there. Sure, you know, you have this guy, he's got armed possibly with a weapon. Sure, you're going to ask his close friend, you know, does he have a history? What do you know about him? What kind of medical history does he have? That, sure, that's a legitimate thing. But you're also going to ask, you know, what does this guy like to do? Does he like, you got to get you have to get their mind off of the situation. Does he like ice cream? Does he like basketball? Does he like comics? Does he like, there's a million things they could have gone.
There was an asinine moment.
Things.
There was an asinine moment. It was you had to have sat through it for as long as we did to hear that they didn't change a damn thing. And at some point, one guy is heard saying to one of I think the negotiator guy, ask him if he has a cat. It was just fucking random. Like, and he's like, hey, Brent, do you have a cat? And then he's like, yeah, I guess we can't build rapport with them. And they laughed. Like that was their one and only attempt to find something so they can check off a box to say that they attempted to make rapport. Hey, do you have a cat? Nope, we don't. He doesn't have a cat. So sorry, how are we going to get rapport with the guy? We don't have anything in common. Like your only attempt for the entire night was asking.
That's exactly what it felt. Yeah. That's
I was waiting for him.
JJ said it. JJ had said it. He said it just felt like they were going through the motions, you know?
Yeah. Checking off the box.
After the cat comment, I was waiting him. Brent, do you like apples?
How do you like them apples?
We're gonna arrest you. How do you like them apples?
That's about how it felt. That's about how it felt. And
remember how we kept saying, like, if Payne was there, we were baffled as to why he wouldn't have been utilized because they did serve in the same unit. Well, I thought about that. Maybe they didn't want it to come out and be on body cam that they had potentially things in common at the time of this event. You know, maybe they didn't want people to know.
It's true, but then you're right. But it seems like there's a whole bunch of douchebag fuckery with that body camera anyway, because we tried to match it right with Lana's body camera, and it doesn't seem like, you know, when the execution happened, it doesn't match. So
yeah, and the thing is, you know, as I've said before, it's like my thoughts and feelings about maybe Kopaka being connected to the event stem from the fact that it was brushed under the rug so quickly. It's like a major event happens, a standoff with a guy, which is kind of a big deal in an area that now has the world watching it, right? Because of the Idaho 4 murders. So it just struck me that they seem to be like deliberately avoiding talking about it much. Like I've said before, why wouldn't any quote unquote journalists be like, that's kind of crazy. I wonder if this guy had any connection to these crimes, because Kohberger had not been arrested yet. So that's what started making me think about it. And of course, we know the mainstream media is full of shit anyway.
They tried to minimize.
Yeah.
Right.
They minimized the whole thing. I mean, they didn't even evacuate the building. You have an armed guy with maybe, you know, one roommate says it's a rifle, one guy says he has a handgun, and they don't even evacuate. You get people. The whole street should have been shut down. Like, you got people walking up. Some woman in the hallway. Can I walk my dog? My dog has to take a piss. Like, you want to get shot
in the middle of a standoff.
Like,
you know,
there's shots going off allegedly, and you know, there's cops screaming. Can I take my dog has to pee?
By the way, we have
matter what he actually had in there. It's what he could have had in there. And aren't negotiators, if they don't get through pretty quickly, aren't they supposed to call like a loved one, a best friend, a parent, something to talk him down?
Yeah, and they did call. They did call a friend of his, Darren Duncan. We can hear them talking to Darren on the phone, but it wasn't They didn't use anything from that
They
phone
didn't
call.
use
They just asked him a few questions.
Nothing.
Hey, is he troubled? Like, does he got problems? Does he drink a lot? What's the deal? Okay, thanks.
And he even
they didn't
said,
use
right?
any of that. Yeah.
And he did a further interview, didn't he? Duncan did an
Yeah.
interview. He said, like, I
Yeah.
wish I had been there. He said something. He probably
Yeah, he says if I had been there, I
talking
could have
him
saved
down.
his life. I think I could have talked him
That's
down.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
But still,
why
that's not
didn't
enough
they-
to call and ask them questions.
Right.
No.
No.
And why didn't they put him like? Can't they Can't they put them like broadcast the phone call into the person from the friend or a family member or something?
Sure.
To say,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
I could
to
have
hear
typed a
that
loudspeaker,
familiar
yeah.
voice. Do they
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why
You
the
try.
hell would they
You
do
try
that?
anything they can to preserve life. That's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
But this wasn't about. From what I watched, and we watched hours of this.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like they were trying to preserve anything.
Mm-mm.
This sounds like
By
it
the
was
way,
kind of like an execution. Like
I want to point something out because we don't talk about it a lot. We had a public records campaign going. We still have it going to try to go after public records requests, FOIA requests, and stuff like that. And Brent Kopacka was hot on our list, so we have a bunch of stuff in. And one of the things that I'm really confused about is Pullman was really good at responding with the Brent Kopacka files, and they gave me a lot of stuff. So kudos to them. However, they used a blanket redaction to basically redact the entire video. So you can't see any of Kopacka's face. You never see any of his apartment or his face. And when I looked up the redaction is not to be used for a blanket redaction. It specifically says not to be used in the way that they used it. And so I did a little advice with some, legal stuff online that said, no, that's a typical law enforcement tactic that they overuse that redaction. Here's what you do. You respond, you point out that that's not to be used in that way and that you want them to categorize all the reasons why they redacted all the minutes that they did and copy their attorney. And I did. And I'm still waiting for them to respond. It's been nearly a month and they have not responded to you. I believe, and it was written very politely, I have reason to believe you violated RCW code such and such, such and such, and used a blanket redaction. Please provide me a log of all the reasons why you redacted this much of the video. And by the way, here's a copy for the city attorney. And there's no response still on that. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But
well, I still don't, and I see some people making comments in the chat. I still don't rule out the possibility that that was an exercise, a training exercise.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely
and
possible.
Again, I just look at things that may have a logical component to them. And there were some things said, there was, you can speculate on it, but based on some of the things that were said, that is not something that I would think would be far-fetched in any way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no,
yeah. I was going to say that the fact that so little was used in crisis management, I would have to agree with JJ there. Like they used nothing.
Yeah, and I think we should move away from Kopacka because we spent way too long talking on it. But I wanted to add one thing to JJ's comment about the training exercise. There is a moment where one of the officers, we commented on this, one of the officers says, so what are you doing next Thursday? Another training exercise? And I'm like, what do you mean another training exercise? Is this a training exercise? Like, is this like, did you just say, hey, so what are you doing next Thursday? Another training exercise? And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what do you mean another training exercise? So, yeah, I mean, you have to wonder. All right, give us something else to talk about besides Kopacka, because I really didn't think we talked for 40 something minutes on Kopacka alone. So.
Well,
it's a fascinating
I saw something on True Crime Design had a short video where they were talking about the amphetamine
Adderall?
levels. Yeah, they were talking about the Adderall level in Xana. Yeah, Xana and Ethan. So I mean that was interesting. He just had an extreme high man. Actually, like, since I know Logan has, like, she's into the medical stuff, but what did you feel about the level that Ethan had?
Yeah, so it was much. So Xana was at 12, Ethan was at like 260 or something, which is much higher now. With amphetamines, what happens is supposedly it's kind of like a cocaine type feeling when, after you take it, not long after, maybe like 30 minutes later, you will start to come down. You'll feel yourself coming down. So what you'll do is, if you don't want to come down and you're still partying and out and want to stay up, you'll take another one. And I think that's what he did. I think that's what he was doing that night while he was out, still taking them and still taking them. And so I would assume he took maybe 3 of them or 4 of them. And that's probably why it's so high, but ain't no way in MF and hell that he was sleeping. I'll tell you that.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna
right.
say
Right.
that
On top
there's
of
no
that,
way.
they were snorting it allegedly because there was
Yeah.
blue powder there, which means it's a quicker hit than taking it in through your digestive system.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
one of the girls said that she saw Xana sniffing it earlier that night. So
right,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what he
a
said.
fairly common thing for people that are using it recreationally to grind it up and snort it. So, that's and keep this in mind. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he had to be doing a lot. Think about Xana's size compared to Ethan, right? So that to me implies that he had been doing it up and, pretty close to the time that he was killed. And, to have that high of a level in his system, and Xana had a much lower level, and he's a big dude, he must have been doing a lot.
It makes me wonder, like in True Crime Design said, if he was preparing for something that night, like a fight night type thing, and it didn't end up
Right.
happening, or something went sour or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. But he surely wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
That would get you pretty jacked
another
up too.
he must have been jacked up. But like one of the
Yeah.
things that I talked about many times is a lot of times, people are using drugs, and if you're using speed, basically, people get squirrely when they're doing a lot of speed. Now, if you're just doing the whatever prescription dose, that's very different. But if you're snorting it and there's people at the house and you're partying, shit can get out of hand quick on drugs. And I've said this numerous times. I'm not suggesting that I feel confident that that's what happened, but if there were people there partying, doing drugs, and an argument ensues, then it's not like any one of us hanging out somewhere and you get into an argument with somebody. But if people are high, they're not going to be acting like a normal person. It's
Right.
just reality, especially on speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's what drives me nuts is once again all the questions that probably should have been asked by law enforcement. There's a lot of potential questions about what the kids were doing that night, whether or not a fight happened at the fraternity that spilled over to the house, and yet very, very quickly, for the longest time, they told us 2 things simultaneously. It's a targeted and isolated event and nobody has anything to worry about, but we have no clue who did it. Like, I don't even understand how you have those 2 things. And then when they come through with it, Brian Koberger did it, it's this whole scenario. Everybody was asleep and he came in and killed them in their sleep and whatever. And there's no motive whatsoever. And it's just like all of these other stories and possibilities are way better, way more realistic scenarios than the individual who decides to randomly pick a house at 4 a.m. And it drives me nuts that we get shamed for asking all these questions. But hey, the good news is mainstream media is starting to pick it up, right? So they're starting to ask.
The officer did ask Dylan started to ask her about the Adderall and stuff. And when she started explaining it, and then she was like, but I don't really know much about Adderall after you just explained exactly what it does. So you do know about Adderall. But he made it like he just swept it under the rug, and he's like, well, people are out here doing other things. You would think on day 1 or day 2, when you don't have shit for a case or an investigation, that, they're taking drugs, they don't get a prescription for it. Let's try the drug angle. Let's look into this.
Right.
No, they didn't do that at all. Why would you not?
No.
You have no other leads at this point. Why would you not?
Because
Right.
and my rhetorical answer to why is because you already know what happened. You already know what happened, and they didn't ask those questions because they already know. And it goes along possibly with this. Hey, one of the victims was a CI. They knew it had to do with drugs. They knew what kind of happened in that house, and they didn't want to reveal how much they knew about the drug hit or whatever happened. That's my guess. And so they kept it hush hush until they came up with any other theory other than we just got a CI killed and got a bunch of kids killed that we were working with. That could have been a reason for keeping it hush hush until they found some other angle they can go with. Here's what we're going to go. Like I can almost feel them like, here's what we're going to go with. Like somebody came in the middle of the night and just killed everybody. That's what we're going to go with. It doesn't matter.
Look,
you know,
to not to beat a dead horse, but let's look at what we know for sure. We know it was a party house. We now know that people did use drugs. Some of the people in the house, right?
Right.
Anybody who's been to college knows that a lot of college kids do drugs, period. That's not even up for debate, right? So you have people that are partying, a party house. People always stop by party houses after the bars and stuff. I've lived in plenty of houses like that. So I think, and we know that, we believe that they knew the house, right? We knew that, we believe, I think most of us would agree, and most people in the chat would agree, that whoever committed these crimes knew the house, knew their way around the house, and potentially knew the victims or some of them, right? So to me, the idea that there were people there hanging out and maybe there was some bad intentions and shit going down and people are partying, shit gets out of hand. And once one thing gets out of hand,
yep.
It's very easy for shit to spiral out of control. I mean, that's human nature. That's human behavior. Anybody who studied Psych 101, knows that human behavior can get squirrely. So I think that
I know I'm going to get this wrong, but you guys correct me. I'm going to get this wrong and you guys need to correct me. There was some body cam footage, and I don't remember what night it was, where the officers came by the 1122 King Road house for a noise complaint. And a group of guys came out and talked to the officers and said they don't know where the girls were with that because they don't live there. Hey, I don't know where they're at. We're just here at the house. Like they're literally hanging out in the party house where the residents of the house aren't there. What night was that?
It's one of the noise complaints.
Right. And it was like to go along with the idea that that house had people there all the time. It was just a coming and going kind of thing. So the idea, again, the rumors that somebody was already in the house, secreted into the house, waiting for the girls to get home. Well, why wouldn't that be consistent with what we know? We've actually got body camera footage of guys that just hang out in the house when the girls are out. They don't even live there. Like, I don't live here. I don't know. The people are gone. I'm just hanging out in their house.
Well, Bethany's the one who answered the door that night, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the people were there. Yeah.
Yeah. But
she lied and said
was
she
acting
didn't live
like
there.
she didn't know.
I mean, when you live in a party house, like I can tell you, I used to throw huge parties, and people that you don't know would see the party and see tons of people hanging out and would just roll up to the house and just be like, "Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?" Yeah.
Yeah. And they would just all the time this happened. And fights would break out a lot of times because one dude's hitting on another dude's girlfriend. He rolls up to the party. He doesn't know who's who. Yep. He's drunk. He's high, whatever. And they start chatting up a girl or start talking shit to one of the guys. I've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and if Ethan's on speed, just think or Adderall, just think of how many other people are on Adderall. And some of these things you can laugh off, like if somebody's hitting on your girlfriend when you're not on any drugs, you can just laugh it off. But a lot of times when you're on amphetamines, now suddenly you've hit a nerve and now I just want to fight somebody because I'm like, because I'm on speed all night.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that goes back, and this goes back to this girl that came forward. Dago had showed the interview on his channel, who claims that she was at the party and saw Ethan and Xana and witnessed Ethan have an argument. She claims it was a little scuffle, like, a small thing, but claims that Ethan did have some kind of altercation with Loach. That did occur, that did happen. So that could be exactly kind of, that's what you're talking about. they're drinking, they're doing whatever, and you know that doesn't mean that he had anything to do with the murders, but it would be, again, why don't we have any interview? There's no interview with any of these, with Loach, with any of these people.
and I hate doing this because I want to make sure. I hate doing this because we're speculating about shit and people are going to shame us, but I feel like that's what law enforcement does too, right? Is they try to figure out how this happened. So we talk about Ethan and how big a dude Ethan was. And we talk about the idea that maybe somebody, you know, hit on a girl or whatever and got pissed off and things got out of hand. How do we know that the very first person ever attacked wasn't Ethan with a hatchet or something like that? And they literally did such a massive blow with the first swing that Ethan was incapacitated. And then Xana freaks out and this tries to attack the person who just attacked her boyfriend. And then they hacked the shit out of her because it just happened that quickly. If somebody came in, maybe somebody's like, hey, fucker, you hit on my girlfriend, whack. And it's on. And that the whole room becomes a fucking chaos bloodbath. But Ethan was taken out quickly with the first stroke, right? Because maybe he was hit with something so massive that it was kind of over for him before it started. I don't know.
I think Ethan was
the hatchet thing. The hatchet thing kind of goes along with what you're talking about, Lee. Because we know that there was a trigger warning for anyone out there. There was hair and potentially some bloody scalp.
Yes, right. Yeah, right.
So hatchet would be capable of doing.
Right, exactly. I hate getting that graphic, but you're right. That would be indicative of maybe something like a hatchet that hit you in the head and took part of. Yeah, gosh, I hate getting that graphic. But the point being is that
I know I do too.
But like you know, and Logan's saying she sees what looks like maybe the bed had been hit by something more indicative of a hatchet. And like you said, Brent Kopacka had a fucking hatchet buried in the wall of the picture of the standoff. Like I was like, what the hell is that? Why is there a hatchet buried in his wall? So,
and for anybody who gets mad about bringing up Kopacka, going there and seeing that area, which I had never been before, if you've lived in a college town, anybody like, and there's 2 colleges close together in that area, people go and party in different areas all the time, even if they're not a student or whatever. I mean, if you've hung out in college towns, like at the bars, you'll see people who are not students. You'll be at parties and people show up that don't know anybody at the party. You know, there's a lot of cross-pollination that goes on in college towns with people that if a place is up. So my point is, Kopacka lived in that area. You're trying to tell me he didn't hang out at the bars in Moscow ever? You're telling me that he never crossed paths in a small college town with some of these people? It's not that far-fetched to make a connection that he might have somehow crossed paths with these people. Could have been, you know, partying. They're young, attractive women. You know, he's a dude. He's not that old. You know, he's of age to be dating college girls. So them crossing paths and having interaction is not at all a far-fetched idea.
By the way, I said we'd be done talking about Kopacka. Fuck it, we're not. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, because you got to bring up that interview.
We talked about the interview. So let me talk about the interview because a couple things came out interesting in that interview. So the interview asked me, and I still don't know what they mean when they say this will change your mind. I don't know that it changed my mind, but it adds some extra details. So it was a couple. It appeared to be a husband and wife who claimed on, I think it was December 20th. So the Kopacka was shot and killed on the 15th. I think the interview was on the 20th. And it was a follow-up investigation by somebody that said, hey, we have some information about Brent Kopacka and his state of mind. We wanted to share it with you. Now, off the bat, I will tell you the interview feels a little weird to me. I'm just going to leave that out there in the first place. But what some of the details that related was that I thought was interesting was Brent Kopacka did have a drinking history and he had a suspended license and couldn't drive. And so I asked before, if Brent Kopacka didn't have a car, did somebody take him someplace that night and could pick him up later and take him back, which would kind of led to the whole, could Brian Koberger have been the getaway driver? If they knew each other, did he take Kopacka there kind of question? But then they said he was trying to buy a car, Brent Kopacka was, but he couldn't buy it because he didn't have a driver's license yet. So he couldn't really finish the deal on buying the car. So all that stuff was out there. He was into stargazing and liked to go stargazing. So now all of a sudden you've got this,
Yep.
Brian Koberger's alibi is he was going stargazing that night. And, like it starts to put some questions in your mind about,
Yes.
did these two guys get crossed up in law enforcement's investigation of somebody named BK who, likes to go stargazing and lives in the Pullman area, and like, could they have gotten those guys mixed up innocently, or was it not innocent and they actually knew each other? Maybe they like to go out in the car and go driving and go stargazing together. And there's a lot of unanswered questions that I feel like law enforcement should have answered those questions, and we should be able to public records request. And hey, what did you find out when you looked into Brent Kopacka and the allegations that he was unstable and this, whatever? What did you find out? Did he go stargazing? Was he out that night? Well, was he at home? There's a lot of questions that didn't get answered.
Right.
And people I see in the chat, like the meth coming up and things like that. I don't know about you guys. When I saw that video of Kopacka at that hotel, to me, what that seemed like was meth psychosis.
Yeah.
That's more like what it seemed like to me. Like, yes, PTSD, you can have psychotic breaks, but
yeah,
it's also doing meth can make you have psychotic breaks.
They said these guys in the interview, I mean, they didn't specifically, they said they didn't know, but they said that he self-medicated all the time.
With alcohol, mostly is what they said, but yes.
Alcohol, but
yeah.
If you're in an area, we always ask this question, what was he doing in that area? I still haven't really gotten an answer.
Thank you. That was another detail about Kopacka that was interesting. Many of us asked what he did for a living. Though people interviewed made it clear he got a hefty settlement from the government for his injury in combat, and so he was doing fine financially because he got a good amount of money and had a lot of money from that. So he had money to go places, and in fact, they said, I shouldn't say fact because they said, I don't know if who they are, that he was uncomfortable with the roommates that he was staying with because they made sexual advances at him on a regular basis and wanted to engage him in sex. And when he would get upset with them at making sexual advances, to the point that it got so creepy that other people would leave because it was uncomfortable watching the sexual advances as they tried to get him involved in a threesome or whatever, he would go check himself into a hotel and stay in a hotel, which leads us back to that June footage of Brent Kopacka at some hotel where he's having some kind of psychotic episode or whatever. So he would frequently, they said, check him into the La Quinta, or some other hotel, and just disappear for a couple of days because he's in some paranoid state, whatever. But he had money to go around getting hotel rooms and doing shit. And he drank like an 18-pack of seltzer, they said, every single day. So he had money. So that question of what did he do for a job? He may not have needed a job because maybe he had a good enough settlement from the government that he had money. But
so my question still is like, why was he there in that area?
Yes.
Like,
right.
If anybody has insights on that, I'd love to know, because that is an important detail.
Right. Like why brought him to Pullman?
Yeah. He's a guy in his 30s. He's living in the middle of two college towns, basically. And so what was he doing there? Now, a lot of people can say, and I've heard he was involved with drugs. Okay, I don't know any confirmation of that other than what I've seen people post. But him doing drugs is not like attacking his character for doing drugs. People do drugs, and people that have suffered traumatic experiences self-medicate. And you're in a college town where there's drugs flying around everywhere. That's not a big stretch to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the good Tommy Jude had a whole thing on him. Again, it's not like, I'm not going to say 100% confirmation, but he had a whole thing on. I'll see if I can get it so I can show. It's like about it. He did like a 4-hour video, and about like 40 minutes of it had to all do with Kopacka. And he had all this info that he pulled, and he's basically saying that Kopacka was linked to like 10 different houses, like all these different places that he recently had lived at, and that he was
Mhm.
in that area because he wasn't just a user of drugs, that he was a seller of drugs, which would go along if, why would someone, whatever, he's in his 30s, why is he living in a college town right there? That would make sense. As you said, it's college.
Yeah.
If you're someone that, if you're trying to sell drugs, that would be
That's a good place to sell
go.
them, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
do you
feel like
think?
he had the I don't feel like he was living the lifestyle of somebody who sold drugs, though. But if he's
Yeah.
also using them, then maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we don't know about Kopaka.
Right.
Like, I know that the people talked glowingly about him. He said he was a great guy. They trusted him around their kids. He would watch their kids and stuff like
That
that
was
until he
that
got
was a weird
unstable.
comment too. That was a
Yeah.
weird comment too that they said. So
It
in
was.
in like within 3 sentences. So they said like, yeah, he's a nice guy. They played games and all this stuff. This guy would play like all kinds of board games and games with their kids, but they're like, but
Until he
at
got
the same
unstable.
time, he
Yeah.
could be unstable at a given notice. It's like, so
Yeah.
you trust someone that could be unstable at a given notice with your kids. It's
And-
a
and-
little weird.
And I don't mean to keep, I know I've said this on stream before, but we're on the topic. Who of the two BKs was a trained killer?
Right.
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 He was not
Exactly.
just a
Yeah.
soldier. He was a
No.
special forces operator. Okay. Literally, his job was to go behind enemy lines, and he
Right.
did it in real life. He didn't
Right.
just train for it. He
Right.
served tours. So that is just a baseline thing. Brian Koberger, no history of violence, right? By all accounts, kind of an awkward guy, and no links to other violent crimes. And then you have a guy who's literally a trained killer. I mean, who suffered major trauma. People, again, I'm just putting it out there, can go off the rails. Factor in drugs and self-medicating,
Yeah.
and it's not a good recipe. You
Right.
know,
No.
shit can go sideways very easily in with
Real
those
quick.
conditions.
And the paranoia that he was experiencing, if
Yeah.
those were true, it's not a good. It's a recipe for disaster if he's having an episode one night. And somebody said, I don't know if you guys are all. I can't. We have. I said we weren't going to talk about Kopaka. It's fucking an hour and 12 minutes, and we're still talking about Kopaka. What about that? There was a rumor, it was true, somebody said, about some film being shown in town just before the murders that was about a person with PTSD. And they said if Kopaka was that, or somebody said he was there, and that might have triggered him and brought some weird shit back. You remember this? That was like an independent film. Come on, somebody in the chat. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. Somebody in the chat help me out.
No,
The
I don't
independent
remember
film,
that.
Yeah.
That
it was
doesn't
a
mean it didn't happen.
documentary. Yeah.
Right.
See, people are going to get it. I can feel the chat's going to come up with it here in a minute. I looked into it, and I did see it was done by a guy that served in the military, and he did like a kind of a documentary about recreating like the events, and it was supposedly aired around that time that it happened. And they're like, did he get triggered by watching this? To be fair, those are like way pulling shit out of her ass for trying to find what triggered him. Then even if he did get triggered, we don't know. But anyways. All right, we got to talk about something other than Kopaka. We really do. Bail me out here. What do we got?
So I heard an audio today. I did put it. So guys, I put out a pre-recorded video. It's only about 10 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. However, in this pre-recorded, I did find a really good person that does, or an audio. He's an actual audio expert, and he's now taking some of this audio that was put out from the 1112 camera, and he's digging into it, and he's removing things and whatever you do with audio. I don't have a clue. But so although we love Outkast, this is also really good. And some of the things I've heard in his recent video that he put out last night makes me in a whole different lane with Idaho now.
Okay, tell us. Don't hold. Or do you want to save it? Do you want to save it for your video?
I did it a couple hours ago, and I just added it in my video, so I haven't even thought it through all the way. I'm still kind of stuck on it.
That's
To
fair.
me, it sounds like, so we know we have this male scream at 227, right? And it's this blood curdling scream. It sounds awful, but it's by a male. Well, at 226, you start to hear a male voice. Something kind of starts to pop off, and he's saying, I thought you were my fucking brother. I thought you were my fucking brother. And then you hear the blood curdling scream, and then you hear a female crying in the background, and then she says, he stabbed me, and then that's all he's done so far.
Oh my gosh, you know what's fuck, I hate doing these live takes.
Which is, not coincidentally, is the exact same time that Maddie and Kaylee start to call Jack D relentlessly.
Right. And then they go dark, and then their phone goes dark. Right.
Yeah, it has
what
my
was
head
the
spinning
story?
right now.
I'm asking a question because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. What was the story about Hunter Chapin having dated Xana before Ethan or something like that? Or had he had some kind of interest in Xana as well? Do you guys remember this or not?
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what ended up happening with it.
I feel like he dated her before Ethan or something like that.
I've heard that somewhere, but whether it's true or not, that he had dated her before and then she started dating Ethan. I don't know if that's
Damn.
true or not, though.
Again, I gotta have the chat bail us out so I can
But
comment on
brother
that.
could also mean
Yeah, right. It doesn't
brother.
necessarily. It doesn't mean. Well, it doesn't even literally mean brother, but we call each other brother.
Right.
And they say, hey, brother. I called Dago brother the other night. I'm not related to the guy. I'm like,
Right.
hey, brother. Hope
I
you're doing
mean,
good. Like, so it could be that
because
right? But
you've got Pete. I mean, who is supposed to be, Ethan's very closest friend outside of, Hunter Johnson, not, so I mean, there's that kind of core group of guys, and so could it have been one of them? I'm, just speculating, but
I initially didn't take it as actual blood brother. I
Yeah,
took it
you're
as
right.
like
Understood,
my
yeah.
bro, my friend, my guy.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's how I heard
Right.
it when
Got
you
it.
said it. But that's how I heard it when you said it. But then I was thinking, what if, by the way, because there was rumor that supposedly Hunter had a relationship with it. What if it was literal? But I took it that way too when you said it was just like, hey, bro, like I thought we were good, but but.
Well, what's interesting to me about this audio is this guy created a whatever it is, an app or something that so
Yeah,
it'll
I
take
saw this guy.
it'll take an audio like a voice and pull it out, and
Yeah.
then it can search for the same voice throughout
Mhm.
hours and hours of audio, and it picked up the same voice the next day when the police start to arrive, saying, "Oh fuck."
Hey,
So the
you
guy
got a
was still in
subscriber
the
right off
area.
of that video you did today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
good
Yeah.
job.
Well, brother can refer to a fraternity brother.
That's what I was
As
thinking,
well,
actually.
correct. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's like that'd
And
be
look,
a big one.
it's funny because I don't like I always shy away on this show from enhanced audios and here's what you hear when they tell you what you're going to hear, then of course you hear it because they just told you you're going to hear it kind of thing. But it's funny because one of the things we talked about on the show is a little bit like you're explaining it, Logan, which is somebody said we should hire somebody who does audio for a living, who's independent and doesn't have a dog in the fight, to say, just analyze this and clean it up and tell me what you hear. And even better if they didn't know the story. They just, what do you hear
Yeah.
without knowing anything about this? Clean it up and tell me what you hear, and don't tell them what the story is, and see if they can shed light on what's said, not knowing what they're actually doing. They're just kind of, oh, well, here's what I hear. Because again, if you have in your mind what the story is supposed to be, you're going to start hearing things that confirm, because that's the way our mind works, what you think you should be hearing. But if you had somebody go into it blind where they have no clue what they're actually editing, it'd be great to hear what they hear when they don't know what it is that they're listening to.
Yeah, I would love to hear somebody do audio that's an expert or expert level type that has never heard of this case before.
Right.
I would
right.
love to see the outcome of that. That would be amazing.
It would.
Yeah, and especially someone who would be able to tell us like when and where the cops screwed with the audio.
Well, he
Like
said
if
that
they could get
too.
down in those layers.
He did say that.
We should get an
that-
we should get an
Oh.
impartial person to do it, like Jeff H.
Yeah, like Jeff.
God damn it, Jeff H.
Damn it,
Yeah.
Jeff. Anyways, that's an inside joke right there. Oh my God. All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I hope that I needed to. So the person you said who did the cleaning up of the audio, you referred to them kind of like a specialist in that. Are they close to what I'm saying, where there's somebody who just does audio for a living and they're not a YouTuber, or are they a true crime YouTuber that did clean?
No, he's not a YouTuber. He just started pulling some of this audio. He's an audio expert. He's done it for over 20 years. And he did say that, oh, what was I going to say? Dang it. Oh, he did say that when he got these files, or where he got the files from, that Moscow, before they sent them, definitely purposely tried to hide the audio on some of the videos, or mess up the audio, take it out, do whatever, mess up some of the audio. But he found it, or he found a way to get into it. And that's where some of this audio is coming from, even though Moscow tried to hide it from the files they sent.
Right. And that was one of the... That was one of the, I mean, I think Outcast was one of the people that said it, it seemed clear that Moscow had actually muddied the audio so that you couldn't hear it. Like they had run something over it so that you couldn't hear. And again, you have to ask yourself, I mean, okay, let's play devil's advocates. What they're going to tell you is they're covering people's PII, their personal information, right? So something, somebody might have been talking about a social security number or a date of birth or whatever they're muttering, they're going to tell you they're muddying it for somebody's privacy reasons. But the entire hours and hours of video they're muddying that makes no sense. Again, it's an over redaction. So you have to think, if they did muddy the audio, they don't want the public hearing what was said. And that tells you a lot right there. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said you can tell on a lot of things when he looks at it, whatever he's looking at. When you have a piece of audio, it'll be like, close to a straight line. In so much of this, they purposely made the lines go up and down. So it was just totally jacked up.
And again, in my opinion, they're not supposed to do that. If they redact something, it should be obvious and stated on the video what they've redacted. If they put a black box over something, they say redacted, and the code that says they're supposed to redact that or why they're supposed to redact it. They're not supposed to alter reality and make people believe that that's how that audio sounded. If they fucked with the audio and then didn't tell people that we've fucked with the, pardon, I keep dropping F-bombs tonight. I'm in rare form. I think I've dropped 70 of them. We're going to definitely get flagged on tonight, and poor fucking, pardon me, poor effing Logan's going to go right down the toilet with us because we just drug her co-stream with us.
Well, God fucking damn it.
Okay, thank good. I'm glad you did that because I was feeling guilty, but now I don't feel so guilty. The point being is that if they muddied the audio, they should have let people know that they muddied the audio.
Come on, dude. They're not going to tell people what. I mean, with all the fuckery in this case, I listened to that audio and I told you guys, it sounded to me like one of two things. Either they overlaid other audio on top of it, or they ran audio effects on that audio. Because I heard some very recognizable effects when I listened to it.
That's what a lot of people said, is they heard some audio, some very obvious run over type stuff that they did to muddy it. So I don't know, Logan. I see you backpedaling on your chat, apologizing for your F-bomb. Don't do it. You got to stick to your guns. You said it. I heard you. I got it on recording. I'll play it back.
Yeah, we do curse a little bit on this stream.
Sometimes more than other times. Sometimes we get in rare moods.
Just depends how.
I feel like tonight's been a really.
One.
Yeah, I see one's gone.
Where did one go?
Probably the FBI shut off his stream. I'm pretty sure.
That must be what it is. He needs to use his vampire powers to get back on.
So yeah, I mean, tonight kind of went off the rails pretty early, I think, a little bit, as far as language and all that went. But look, it is what it is. Okay, he's back. Let's see if we can get him. Nope. Well, he's half back. He's still spinning.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Well, now we're losing 3/5 of our panel. Yeah. Now we're gonna lose. We got him back. We just lost one and gained another one. What happened to you over there?
I got StreamYard is like crazy today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Earlier it was muting Robin every 2 minutes. So, all right. So, yes, let me reiterate what, so Bronx Tales has a really cool video that she spent a lot of time on. And she told me, by the way, backstage that she had some audio difficulties and had to redo a bunch of work. So I know what that feels like. I had the same thing happen to me the other night. I had to spend 8 hours recovering something that I did. It was horrendous. She got in that same kind of cluster where she had to redo shit. So do her a favor if you haven't already, and go check out her video. Not necessarily right now. Stay with us for a little bit longer, and then go check it out after the show. But make sure you like and subscribe to her channel as well, and if you haven't already done so. And thanks, by the way, for joining us as well. And we're not. I sound like I'm wrapping up. I'm not intending to wrap up right now. I'm just letting people know that since you did that hard work, they should go watch that. I'm curious to see it as well. I'm always nervous about the isolated audios and cleaning it up, but by the same token, it might shed some light on asking some new questions. So, and that's
the first one I feel like I can actually hear what is being said matches with what I'm being told is being said. Do you know what I mean? I felt confident. Usually I don't put out audio stuff because I'm not good at audio, but this one I kind of felt like I heard it. It was pretty clear, and I don't usually hear it. So
okay. I'm going to take you to task, and this is going to be testing you to see how brave you are to just tell me what you think. Did you see my transcribed thing of the Brent Kopaka standoff where I put on screen what I thought I was hearing?
Yeah.
Did you see it? And how close do you think I got to it? Do you think I was way off, or?
I was doing something else while I was watching it, so I was obviously trying to watch the words and stuff, but I thought it was pretty close.
The one I definitely got wrong was, I shot an eagle, which he actually, I think, said I shot an angel, and I thought it was eagle. So that one I think I got wrong. And once people said what they heard, I heard it. But I thought that the only reason I bring it up is because you're saying, like, this guy's the first guy who got the transcription right. And I'm thinking, I thought I did pretty good on my video. I wonder what you think about my video, because I usually don't do that. I really get nervous. And the only reason I kind of did that one is because I was listening to multiple body cameras and got it from multiple angles. And I heard it like, on one video you'd hear it really clear, on the other video you wouldn't hear it so clear, and so I thought I got it pretty good. But anyways,
it was good. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do it
True
that
crime
close.
Forensics.
Yeah, that's what it's called. True crime forensics.
True crime forensics. Yeah.
Cool. That's the channel that did the audio that you watched.
Yeah, I'll put it. He made his own. He claims. I don't see why. I mean, he'd be lying. He claims that he made the program that he's using specifically.
Nice. Like he designed the.
Yeah. Right.
And by the way, I just want people to know this. So I have the full Adobe suite, with all the fancy stuff like Audition, which is one of the programs that comes with Adobe. One of the things you can do in Audition is you can take a sound profile, like a car or whatever. You can isolate that and say, here's the sound I want you to remove, and take that sound profile and remove it. And then, from the video or whatever. And so I know how to do these things. I just haven't delved into it because of how nervous I am and how much I talk about I don't like enhanced audios. But I understand the principle enough, and I've actually got a pretty high-end tool. I mean, I think it's called Audition. That's Adobe's version, and it does that kind of stuff. You can create noise profiles of just hums or garbage or whatever, and then say, when you hear that, remove that from the thing, and it tries to pull out the decibels specifically where that's happening. Sometimes that stomps on the video that's leftovers, and sometimes it doesn't. Like, for example, when the human voice is at a different decibel range than the car going by, then you can really isolate those because it's a completely different decibel range. But sometimes what you're hearing is in the same decibel range as that one, and you lose them both. So I do know a little bit about it. I just haven't been brave enough to start putting out that kind of content, but for what it's worth.
I wouldn't feel comfortable messing with audio. So
I don't like to do it as well. In fact, when I did the Kopaka thing, I didn't alter anything other than I brought up the entire, not just part, but the entire sound level so that you could hear what was being said faintly in the background. Unfortunately, that meant when gunshots went off, it scared the living bejesus out of everybody because gunshots are way loud. But I didn't want to like dampen the gunshots and then raise this up because that sounds like that just feels like too much fuckery with the audio for me. So I left it as it was. All I did is just increase the entire sound volume so that you could hear what was going on in the background. But
I wonder if there's a program like an AI type program where you could input, say, some of the 1112 video and audio and see if it can discern if there is another track laid on top of the one audio track, because sometimes algorithms can figure that stuff out.
I think so. And
have there been audio effects added to this audio?
Yeah. I wanted to, that's a great point. And I think we can, and maybe we'll get into more of that. I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert. And so I don't want to ever claim I am an expert, but I have the tools, but I don't have the talent. You've got the tools, I got the talent. Anyways, somebody's asking about, can they join the chat? I do want to say, by the way, for those who are unfamiliar, when two YouTubers on StreamYard are co-streaming together, I'm seeing both the chats. But unfortunately, if you're on Logan's side, for example, you're probably seeing only Logan's chat. And if you're on my side, you're seeing only my chat. We have the benefit of seeing both chats kind of combined and overlaid. So it gets confusing, I'm sure, for you guys unless I do the whole this, which shows you both of our streams together so you can see it. You're probably only seeing one half the chat. So I apologize. It's part of the unless I can get educated by somebody how to do it differently. It's part of the problem of co-streaming is her chat's going to be separate from our chat unless we show it on screen. But the problem with showing it on screen is then chat's overlaying everyone's face and you can't see their reactions and stuff like that. So we're working on doing it better somehow in the future. But
What is StreamYard doing?
they don't like one.
Yeah, but it took me off screen.
It doesn't like you either.
No,
my friend doesn't
really
like you,
doesn't
and I don't like you
me.
either.
Can't hear me. Don't want to see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but watch.
Oh, boy.
All right. Let me ask this question. Damn it, we only got about a half hour left. Logan, what other cases do you follow, or are you kind of exclusively Idaho 4?
I mean, right now I pretty much just do Idaho 4. I have been looking into like the Mickey Steins more lately, but I never really got deep into it, so I'll have to dig on my own. I got really into Delphi, Chris Watts, Kanika Jenkins. Oh gosh, now when I'm put on the spot, I forget all the good cases.
Can I ask you on the Delphi case, if you lean towards Richard Allen as guilty, and what you feel about the appeal that his defense team said about wrongful conviction and trying to get it appealed? What is your thoughts on that, having followed it before?
I might get some hate from my chat, but I don't think he's guilty.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And so have you said that you used to follow it, but you're not kind of following it now. Are you not interested in the appeal process that's happening? Because I kind of let it go, because when I got into true crime on the channel, it was over. He'd already basically, been convicted and the trial was over. And I thought, well, I'm not going to pick up a case that's dead. But when the appeal got filed, I went and read the huge appeal and I was like, oh my God, if that's what happened to that guy, they completely fucked that guy. And so I'm in now because I'm looking forward to watching the appeal process. But
when was the appeal filed?
Not too long ago, maybe a month and a half ago, maybe.
Okay. That's what I thought. Because I remember hearing an appeal was filed and I still have not had 1 minute to even go look at what everything says, which I need to because I am very interested in that case.
Yeah. As the sound, the guy is creating a program that called Sherlock that does exactly what you're asking. And he has done 40 years experience. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's
awesome.
what it is. Sherlock. Yep.
So yeah, I encourage, I don't know if you're like me and you probably don't have a million hours of time, but that appeal filed by his team is worth the read.
Okay, good.
It's off the hook.
I'm going to read it tonight. Matter of fact.
Oh God, it's good. I'll tell you, I'm not wasting your time. That's good freaking reading. Read that appeal. Yes. You're going to be right back in it with us.
My bedtime story tonight.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. It's good stuff. All right, so that's cool. So
Man.
I would love to see that, by the way. I mean, selfishly, I kind of hope you get interested in the case, because I'm coming in late. Like, I'm only coming in after the appeal, and I saw all the shit that happened through the appeal, and I was like, oh my God. And so it's kind of funny, because I thought, the true crime community is going to say, you're too late to the party, DA. You can't start talking about a case we've known everything about. We've watched this whole thing. But they've welcomed me with open arms to look at. In fact, it's kind of cool because I get to look at it with fresh eyes. Some of the people have saw it play out, right? And now I'm coming back and going, hey, I didn't know this happened. So I think I really encourage you to do, like you said, read that. Let me know if you get interested, because I think we would have a lot of fun diving into that together as one of the kind of collaborative things we talk about a lot. So.
Oh no, I will definitely be interested in it. I promise you, we can definitely talk about it. But what you just said about fresh eyes, I think is a really good point. I kind of thought that me coming here with fresh eyes on maybe a case that you guys have been really into, and then you can explain it to me and I can ask questions and see, if I feel the same way you guys do about a case.
I love that. I think that's what we all want, is to see somebody come at it from a different angle and ask questions. And so, anytime that's what I'm looking for, is those connection points between us. I mean, Idaho 4 is one of them, of course, but other cases like Delphi would be a great one. Mickey Steins, it sounds like you're interested in. Oh my God, I so encourage you to get in with that, because again, getting in early with us, that would be amazing for all of us to kind of get our different perspectives. I would love that.
Mickey Steins, I think, would be the case that I would like to come at it with fresh eyes and have you guys explain the case to me and let me ask questions and see where I end up with it.
For sure.
I think that'd be a good case to do that with.
Anytime. I would love that. I would love that, because I feel like we got him pretty early with Mickey Steins. And when I saw all of the signs, that I'm like, oh my God, that is so my case. Like that, if any case rings my case, is the Mickey Steins case. That case is off the hook with craziness. So I'd love to kind of quote unquote explain it to you from my perspective, and then see what you think and have you ask questions. I would love that. So
that'd be awesome.
All right. So what else we got? JJ, you got any thoughts? I mean, we're not closing, but I think we're getting close to closing. So what are you
well, I mean, I haven't spent a ton of time looking into the Charlie Kirk thing lately, but over the past several weeks, or last month, let's say, some very interesting stuff has come out. I'm sure one's aware of it, like his wife having been in CIA training videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, her I believe it was her mother or her father. When you can remind me, was really involved with EM electric magnetic pulse preparedness and with the government, and but this particular video was along those same lines, but it was Erica Kirk was in the training video when she was younger.
I'm still laughing whenever you say that. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it's like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on, man.
Dude, I mean, it's just like, I've been saying this for years. Like, obviously I'm being hyperbolic, but everybody fucking works for the CIA, it seems.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's whenever I see people on the news or big, huge channels, content creators that come out of nowhere and get massive followings, it's like, come on, man. This is the way the game is played. All the world's a stage.
I got to ask another question of Logan while we're on the camera together, and she's not going to like this one. I don't think it's great for true crime necessarily. That's gonna make some people mad. But do you have any thoughts at all about Luigi Mangioni's shooting of Brian Thompson allegedly in New York over the healthcare CEO? Have you looked into that at all?
I followed that for a while. I think with Luigi, with Delphi, and with Idaho, I think all of those cases they made a person fit the crime rather than the investigation taking them to where it should have taken them as law enforcement investigating a crime. But from the moment we heard about Luigi and, well, I guess I should say Brian, who was shot, right? That was his name, right? Brian, that was shot.
Yeah, Brian Thompson.
It felt so like something was going to be super messed up or staged or something was off with it right away. I didn't even think Luigi initially looked like the guy that they were trying to say was the guy. And then you carry your backpack around with every piece of incriminating evidence from that day for how many days? Like, stop it. That's just ridiculous.
That warms my freaking heart. Like I hear a kindred spirit in the way you think. Yeah, those were all the same questions we had coming into it at the very beginning. So that's super awesome.
And we've talked about that very thing you mentioned, that it looked staged.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to, in the area, how many cameras are right there? And you're going to just walk up and shoot somebody? Like, think of what's going on in that area at that time. People are rushing to meetings. I mean, there's a lot of, it just didn't, something is just not right with it. Right? Steps right in the frame of the camera. How convenient.
Right. And that's one of the things that I brought up a million times. The guy literally drops a piece of evidence with his bare hand on top of gently places it on top of a trash pile right under a CCTV camera, as if saying, look at me leaving my evidence at the scene. Then leaves the backpack with his chewing gum in it. Like, here's my DNA at the scene. And like, I'm going to bare hand. And that's the other thing. I'm going to bare hand the gun when I'm shooting Brian Thompson, but you're going to pick me up 5 days later and I've got gloves in my backpack. Why didn't you wear the fucking gloves during the shooting? Like, none of this story starts to, it feels weird.
Well, my favorite part has always been how Brian Thompson falls in the shadows. Right after the alleged shooting, he stumbles and he falls out of the light of the perfectly framed, shot that the camera had. And he falls on the ground in the shadows. Like, I just thought that was all very too perfect, in my opinion.
Did they give us an exact distance of how far away the shooter was from Brian?
15 feet. I think it was 15 feet is what they said.
I mean, wouldn't they have blood spatter on them? Were there people next to him? I can't remember.
There was a person.
There was a lady
right next. There was a lady drinking a coffee right next to him when he got shot, kind of thing. And she just kind of went like, "Oh shit, gotta go somewhere else." It's like, I'm like, man, in New York, somebody gets done in front of you, you're just like, gotta go get back to work. Like,
did she not have blood spatter on her? Because she should have.
Not that I know of.
Right. Right.
Look, I hate to say this, Joe. Damn it, Joe. I hate to say this, but I guess if you're gonna ask the question, is it possible, because of the Mickey Stein situation and that judge, that scandal maybe going so far up that maybe they were going after somebody higher up? Could Brian Thompson also have been somebody they were going to use to go much higher up the food chain? And did they fake the death of Brian Thompson so that he could become a star witness in a much bigger case? Because again, the Department of Justice was investigating United Healthcare. So I hate being that guy, because how I try to be like, let's not become the conspiracy channel. But you guys are talking now that we got Logan on here as well. Like, okay, where's the blood spatter? And you're like, he fell into the shadow, and one's like, yeah, like, isn't that convenient? And I'm like, I hate to say it, but if I'm being honest with myself, there could be a reason why, again, Brian Thompson could be a star witness in a very big case. And maybe they wanted to make it look like he died because they wanted to protect him and his family from repercussions if he rats out on billions of dollars in the health insurance industry. So I don't know. It's a question. Right. I'm really nervous.
Or the other variant of that, which we've talked about, is he was killed, but it was done in such a way that we want to make everybody see it, because we have this guy waiting in the wings who we're going to install as a patsy,
right?
Who's, in my opinion, Logan, I don't know, you probably haven't heard me say this, I think Luigi was picked up by the CIA and he's just an actor. He's playing the
Wasn't
role.
he,
Yeah.
hadn't he disappeared for a couple months prior to
Yeah,
this, which I would
about
consider
6
like
months.
training?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So
That's the million dollar
yeah.
question. What was he doing for 6 months when he dropped off the radar from like July it was until December? We don't know what he was doing. He just kind of dropped off the radar, and that's just it. Like what Logan what you just said was, some will use that to say, well, he was plotting a murder, so it's premeditated murder because what he did is he was spinning, or as other people would say, was he in training? Had he been recruited, and was he literally in training for this and making sure it went down? Like, there's a million things you could ask, but the mystery of where the hell he dropped off the face of the planet, stopped talking to his family, he just completely dropped off public radar, including to his family, and apparently missed a wedding that he was supposed to go to, even though everybody was like that he never would miss a wedding. What happened during that time? Where was he? What was he doing for those 6 months?
Well, I mean,
The mystery.
if you follow the patterns, it's a clear pattern. Ivy League, from a prominent family. That's who the CIA recruits. That's not my theory. Anybody can look into it, and it's very, very, very clear. And so you have a guy who is going to testify in an antitrust lawsuit, the biggest healthcare company in the world, or I think one of them, if not the biggest. And so operations happen all the time. This is where I diverge from a lot of people on this stuff. These are not uncommon things. It's just that people in their minds separate them because they label it's a true crime case. But when big money, and we all say this, when big money and big power are involved, there's always a lot of room for fuckery.
Correct.
JJ, I think what you were talking about before, I think it was his mother, Erica's mother, because the father, so Erica's father has a connection to Raytheon's Israel division, and he helped create Raytheon's Israel division, linking her family directly to Israel's military-industrial complex. So it suggests that her family has deep ties to Israeli interests. And
did we just bounce from Erica Kirk to Luigi back to Erica again? And like,
I just wanted to answer him. I just wanted to answer him because he asked.
like
but her mother, from what I understand, I thought it was her mother, but it could be her father that wrote a book about EMP preparedness. But it was one of her parents.
How is it preparedness? So EMP, like electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah.
What's the preparedness part?
All right. So if you don't remember this, there was a period of time in our government, you could probably find the hearings and stuff where that was, they're always trying to scare people, right? They got to keep everybody scared. So there was a period of time where there were like government hearings and things about the potential for EMP attacks, right? And like they always do, they always use these fear-mongering tactics to get people to acquiesce to policy changes, right? And it always leads to the threat of, losing your civil liberties, et cetera, and so on. But so that was a big thing for a while, and in the government. In fact, there's a lot of information about it. So the whole EMP preparedness thing was a big topic within the intelligence communities and with the government for a while. And one of her parents, I apologize, I forget which one, was involved with that aspect of it. And there is a video of Erica Kirk that was given as a CIA training video about EMP preparedness. You can find it. I mean,
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, I believe it.
I saw the video, and she's younger. She's like in her 20s. So this is what I always say, guys. When big power and big money are involved, is it just a coincidence that these things always happen, or is there a reason for it? And I'll take it back to Luigi, right? Look at his history. He's this handsome guy. In my opinion, I'll say it again. I believe he is an actor. He was basically a perfect guy to play the role, to insert into it wittingly. I don't believe he's an unwitting patsy. That does not happen to kids from elite families who went to Ivy League schools. They don't they're not unwitting patsies, in my opinion. They are operatives. And then someone would say, what do you mean he worked for the CIA? No, I don't think if you look up the CIA roster, he's going to be on it. They use contracting, and they have all kinds of operations that are not public. So, in my opinion, this case, I can't say for sure if I think Brian Thompson was really killed or not, because how would I mean, my gut feeling is that it's possible it was an extraction, because if billions and billions of dollars are on the line and lawsuits and a PR nightmare for United Healthcare, corporate espionage is a very real thing. And if you haven't researched it, it's an interesting rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this, by the way, JJ, there's a lot of people that are excited about when you get your YouTube channel kind of up and running, because I got a lot of people that would like hearing you talk about these deeper things. And while I entertain them as well, you know, that I also have to, I get a lot of pushback from people like, oh, you guys are a bunch of conspiracy theorists or whatever. But I love hearing about these ideas. And again, I'm open to talking about them, but I know that when you get in your own channel going, you're going to dig into these even better. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. And so as a bunch of people in our chat as well, when you get that launched. And hopefully, for God's sake, hopefully that doesn't mean the end of Joe on our show, because I'd like you to be able to do both and kind of dovetail them and do that, just, you know, but.
Well, the whole purpose of my channel is not to become some big content creator. It's for one purpose, is to present information that can be easily researched to bring people together. If I have one mission out of all this, is for people to wake up that this right versus left narrative is total bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's been manufactured. Yeah. And we're all humans, we're tribal, we're susceptible to falling into that trap. So I get it. And I have in the past too. But the bigger picture is what is dividing the population. And when we're divided, the media can get away with the bullshit they get away with. The government can get away with the bullshit that they get away with. And the people always lose. And I'm not a pie in the sky guy. Anybody who knows me knows I can be a dick. I'm not like the most warm and fuzzy guy all the time. But that's the only hope. And I think it's really important. And with true crime, there's a connection, because if people were more united, the mainstream media would not be able to get away with their bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing more from you on that, and kind of in a way glad that you don't want to be a big, huge star, because then we can maybe hang out with you more often. So look, let's do a close for the night for all of our panelists. I'm going to go around. I think we're going to do Robin, 1-1, Logan, and then JJ, and then I'll close us out. So Robin, it's your chance to say goodnight and give your parting thoughts for the evening.
Do you want me to show you the Roadrunner so that
God,
Joe can
hold on.
Joe can see the Roadrunner?
Fucking Roadrunner. Let's do it.
Yeah, the road.
Oh, look at that. Her sound just got cut again. Her sound just got cut again. Did you hear it go pop when it? Yeah, she just went to 0 volume. There we go.
Okay. All right. So let me share my screen.
I want to know why they keep shutting you off. What the hell did you do to piss off the?
They don't want me to show the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept getting kicked off.
Can we find one with a coyote chasing a roadrunner?
I can do that. Hang on.
That'd be gold. Gold.
Can you see it?
I grew up with that. Hold on. Yeah. Is that a Roadrunner?
Me, me.
Oh. He just did the me.
Now wait a minute. Hang on.
Me, me.
We're gonna back it up.
Yes.
There it is. That's the video I was looking for. The coyote chasing the roadrunner.
Wow.
Oh, that coyote almost got him.
Look at him go.
That's AI, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
don't care.
Good.
Look how funny that is.
It is. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Anyway.
Back to the close. Well, what do you got?
Yep.
Great.
Oh, well, that
it's
was my close for the night. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming out. Logan, it's wonderful to have you here with us.
She just cut out
what the
again.
heck?
What the frick is
Oh.
happening?
Now she's got no sound. No, come on now. Are you there?
Forget it. Go on to somebody else. Forget it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
All right. Well, we tried. We really tried. All right. 1-1. Let's get you up to say. I hope that you can succeed without having something happen.
Thanks everyone. Thanks JJ, Robin, Logan, Lee, Meatballs, Denizens, everyone. Thanks for being part of what we do every night. Keep trying to think outside the box. Don't take the mainstream narrative for truth. Question. Don't be afraid to question. You don't want to come up on stage, or it could be a little awkward. Even with just audio, you can definitely send your questions after the stream, or in the stream, or in the comments. And we have this new thing that we're trying out, and we're going to be try to answer all the questions that we don't get to, during the show. So thanks everyone.
All right. And let's bring up Logan to say what she has to say.
I just want to thank all of you guys on panel for having me here. I feel very honored and have been having a great time being here. I can't wait to get into the nitty gritty of some different cases, even Idaho still, and just talk about everything under the sun about crime. As my chat always hears me say, do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
I love that. I'm a big animal lover as well. So I love that you do that. That's very cool. All right, JJ, what do you got?
Man, that video, man, that just makes me.
No. What we
great.
need is
So appropriate.
Erica Kirk being chased by a roadrunner, being chased by a coyote. That's what.
Oh, I'm sure somebody could make that. Well, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Logan, it's very nice to meet you. I'll definitely subscribe to your channel. Thank you to the Denizens and the Meatballs and the mods. As always, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. And I hope, when I do finally get my channel up and running, that I can do the team here proud. And next time, hopefully very soon. It won't be next time, but I'll have some stuff to put out.
Looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to it. And look, the last thing I want to say before I close, I'm realizing we just started this new fireside chat idea, which I think we're going to keep doing, which is that after tonight's show, I'm going to look for comments and questions that we didn't get to and do some of those recordings. I just realized that one potential problem is I bet you I'm only going to see my chat and not Logan's chat from her side that she co-streamed with, even though I'm seeing it right now on StreamYard. And some of the questions you guys are asking are things that I would like to answer as well. So I'll try to figure out the logistics. Maybe I can capture the screenshots from inside StreamYard. I know I can't get it necessarily from my YouTube replay. So if I don't get your question answered that you asked, keep in mind whether you asked it on Logan's side. And I'm not asking you to not watch her side. So support Logan. That's perfectly fine. But it may be that I can't answer a question if I don't get it refreshed on my memory on my side. So I'll work out the logistics. I think I can maybe do it. Maybe I can stay in StreamYard and look at the combined chat in StreamYard. So let's hope we can do that. Anyways, look forward to that if you like that kind of thing. The idea of the fireside chat is a lot of you who say you never get your questions answered or addressed. And boy, if DA is not going to engage his fucking chat, then why am I here? Well, I'm going to make that effort, make it good for you by actually answering some of those one-on-one questions that came out that we didn't address as a panel tonight. Everybody have fun. I'll reiterate for Logan's sake, be kind to your animals because I love animals as well. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same bat channel. Talk to you later.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.